They say only a few people in history ever reach the level of greatness worthy of a Nobel Prize. But what if I told you that one of them began his journey in a refugee camp with no money, no power, and no connections, only a dream? This is the real story of Dr. Omar Yaghi, a man who turned struggle into science, pain into progress, and imagination into inventions that may one day win him the Nobel Prize in chemistry. From the dusty streets of Jordan to the laboratories of Berkeley, he discovered how to pull water from air and capture carbon from the sky. He didn't just change science, he changed the future of humanity. Omar Yaghi was born in Amman, Jordan, in 1965. His family was Palestinian, refugees who had lost their home because of war. He grew up not in comfort, but in hardship. No fancy toys, no easy path, only the endless desire to understand the world. While other kids played outside, Omar looked up at the stars, asking questions about how everything worked. He didn't have a laboratory. He had curiosity. His parents couldn't offer much, but they gave him something priceless: faith. Faith that education could lift him out of darkness. And with every book he read, every page he turned, he built a bridge between who he was and who he wanted to be. After finishing school, Omar made a decision that would change his life forever. He left Jordan and moved to the United States, chasing a dream that seemed impossible. He arrived with almost nothing, no wealth, no comfort, and sometimes not even enough to eat. But he had something stronger than all that: determination. He studied chemistry at the State University of New York at Albany, then earned his Ph.D. at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. He worked long nights in the lab, often alone, not for grades or fame, but for discovery. He wasn't just learning chemistry, he was preparing to rewrite it. After years of struggle and failure, Omar asked himself a question that would change everything. What if we could build materials the way we build cities, piece by piece, molecule by molecule? That question gave birth to a brand new science called reticular chemistry. He created MOFs, metal organic frameworks, materials made up of tiny molecular cages that can trap gases like hydrogen and carbon dioxide. These structures have the power to store clean energy, capture pollution, and even harvest water from the air. His discovery opened a new door for humanity. A world where science could fight climate change and where innovation could solve the planet's greatest problems. The scientific community was astonished. Dr. Omar Yaghi's name began appearing everywhere. He became one of the most cited chemists in the world, his work inspiring thousands of new discoveries. He received some of the highest honors, including the Wolf Prize in Chemistry and the King Faisal International Prize. Many call him a future Nobel Prize winner, a man whose impact goes beyond awards, a man whose ideas are shaping the foundation of modern chemistry. But even with global fame, Dr. Yaghi never changed. He stayed humble, saying, "Science is not about glory, it's about building something that lasts for humanity." One of his most powerful creations is a device that can pull water out of thin air. No electricity, no pipes, just pure, drinkable water from the atmosphere. Imagine, in the world's driest deserts, families could drink clean water thanks to his invention. For a man who grew up in a land where water was scarce, this was more than science. It was a promise of hope, that the future could be kinder, cleaner, and more sustainable. When asked what drives him, Dr. Omar Yaghi once said, "I wanted to show that your origin doesn't define your destiny." His journey teaches us that success is not about where you start, but about how far you're willing to go. He mentors young scientists, especially those from poor or refugee backgrounds, because he remembers what it means to start with nothing. To him, every student, every dreamer, every curious mind is proof that knowledge can rise from anywhere. So, the next time you feel like your dreams are too far away, remember the story of Omar Yaghi, the boy who had nothing but a dream, and turned that dream into discoveries that may one day win a Nobel Prize. He proved that the limits around us are only illusions, that your struggle today could become someone else's hope tomorrow. Believe, learn, build, because you too have the power to change the world.